What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you guys haven't seen the last video, we kind of dived into the HFCRX a little bit to kind of situate a lot of the rust stuff that was happening with the frame and some of the bolt holes and in the trunk. Today we're going to continue a lot on the car. I am super excited to start the body work on it, or at least sand the entire car down, and if I can get to it today, do the body work. The trunk, can't really see it, but definitely less surface rust. It's looking good, nice and dry. I'm probably going to fold everything all back over when I get to the trunk area. So right now I wanted to slap a hood on the car so that way we don't get a lot of the dust into the engine bay. I originally wanted to swap that hood onto this car and then put the carbon hood on that car, but I just realized now that the carbon fiber hood needs work as well. So I decided that I'm going to throw the carbon fiber hood on the HF instead, because we're going to sand it all down together, because this car is getting base coat and clear coat. And when we do the clear coat, we can just clear the hood while it's still on the car. So I'm just going to go ahead and start with that. Put the carbon fiber hood on the car. So that latched on pretty well. Not a lot of force, just kind of clicked into place, but definitely needs a lot of adjustment. Now, I'm not worried about adjusting the hood lines because this hood is not permanent to the car. This side has a lot more gap, but I'm definitely going to spend time to get this thing to fit up on that car once we get it over there. Right now, I'm just going to run into my room real quick because Hush Performance is having a sale, a liquidation sale. So if I can cop a few things, I'm going to cop a few things. Catch up with you guys in a minute. Damn, I slept on it. So a couple of hours ago, Hush Performance posted on Instagram they had a bunch of stuff up for liquidation, and they had 10 sets of ZC style headlights. They're aftermarket, but they are ZC style. They were glass, single globe, just like these right here. These are aftermarket TYCs, and it's really hard to find these. Hush Performance had 10 sets, and they are sold out. Now, they do have Sirocco radiators, which is like the very budgeted tucked radiator, and they have it for like 80 bucks. A couple of years ago, those radiators, those aluminum radiators, were also 80-90 bucks, but they're like $150-200 now. So when I'm done for the day, I go inside. If they still have it on their website, I'm probably going to order a Sirocco radiator for a future K or B swap. It's a great way to tuck a radiator out of like visual sight in the engine bay. So maybe I'll cop one or two of those. What's crazy is I came out here today at 11 o'clock, and I still feel like we didn't have enough time before the sun went down. It is 6 o'clock and it is dark as hell. So I think I cut off the video right here, and went to go help my uncle with his Land Cruiser, which is down the street, and came back to finish off the back half of the passenger side. And I kind of went through a lot of areas with the sandpaper by hand to make sure that I didn't use the DA to like cut into the plastic and stuff. So I went around all of the edges by hand and sand off every area that was still shiny, and the entire car, guys, is sanded down. So sorry for the lighting back here. I really need to go get some new lights, some more lights, not new lights, but more lights to kind of brighten this side up a little bit more. But trunk is all sanded out, driver's side all sanded out. I think what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to get my primer and run through all the areas that were sanded down to bare metal. I am going to continue tomorrow. I want to sand the bumpers down front and back because I didn't get to it right now. But I also want to do some light body work. Now the car was painted previously, and the body work was done to the car. I did see some filler work on the back quarter. I might try to take care of that rust tomorrow as well too. It's a small section, but I really just want to get it out of the way so the weather don't like cause any more rust to form. So there are small dents here and there. The biggest one out of the entire car is right here in the fender, right there, that line. I'm gonna have to pop that out, fill that up. There's one right here, and then it's just some small little dings across the car. Like this is the other noticeable one, and obviously the quarter panel with the rust right there, and then there's a dent like right here. So not a lot of body work to do. I figured I'd just squeeze it into this video because we're already like working on the body. So I'm super excited for it because it's really not that much to get this car prepped for paint. I am definitely going to do high build primer, high build, not sealer, high build, and then I'm gonna let it build up over the the swirl marks that were caused from the DA sander, because I used 100 grit. I didn't go any lower, but I also didn't go any higher because there was a lot of clear coat peeling. So 100 grit literally chopped through this paint real quick, and a lot of areas I went over with 220 by hand, which is this little pad right here. I had 220 on here, and I kind of just, you know, easy to conform like to the shape of the body, and just kind of went over a lot of areas with 220 already. But the high build primer should hide those lines, and I'm gonna block the primer down and make the car nice, flat, uniform, and then hopefully this following week or something we'll get some paint so we can start laying down some base coat and clear coat. So I'm gonna clean up right now, and we'll pick up with you guys tomorrow. All right, so running around Target, Walmart. I don't go to Petco because it's super expensive, but there's like no cat food anywhere right now. Went to grab some food, went to the cemetery, visited my dad, my uncle, and my grandma. Came back, ate a little bit. Leo pulled up, and we were just chopping it up for a cool moment. The sky, it's freaking cloudy just kind of out of nowhere. Yesterday was nice and sunny out. Today is overcast. Not entirely sure why, and I don't know how the rain is going to look the rest of the week. Now Leo is going to be working on my uncle's car real quick, kind of taking over a little bit of what I was doing yesterday, and I need to get down with the body work. So my main concern for the body work today is this quarter panel right here. I entirely sanded this car down last night and primed up a lot of the areas that were bare metal. You can see all primered up to protect it from the weather. So right here in the back, we have this rust spot, very common for the CRXs, normally on both sides, but lucky for me, it's just this side that's rusted out, and there's a nice size hole there, a random hole right there, which I'm just gonna tack up and grind flat. There's a little hole right here on the side, probably gonna weld that up as well too. The other side, we're looking good. No rust back here whatsoever. And if I can, because it is cold, I might do some body filler, but my main goal right now is just to patch up those metals. So I'm gonna go ahead and just cut out some pieces, make some measurements, and we'll be making some measurements, cut out some pieces, and then we'll get to welding. Guys, we lost a lot of daylight again. You guys should be used to that by now. So Leo, I gave Leo a hand with the hose. He did most of the work, got the hose that was leaking under the intake manifold behind the firewall all situated. It's bleeding out right now, and this thing is pretty much ready to rock and roll. Now me, I procrastinated too, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, but we got that freaking rust patch cut out and patched back in. All metal work right here, nice and smooth, nice and flat. Now this has been, like, I guess body filled before, all of this orange, because I was sanding it yesterday and it powdered up like body filler. What I'm gonna do is obviously this is all metal work. There is some light low spots, and I'm gonna glaze over this whole entire section, as well as this right here. This is a dent I'm gonna fill in as well. And on this side, I got this all welded up. It was a nice dime size hole. I welded that up, and this is all ready for body filler. The fender was actually pretty clean before I sanded it down, so I'm not worried about it. Very light dents. I'm not too worried about it. We're not blocking this entire car. We're not doing a full body work on this car. We're just doing the most visible spots, like what I saw when this car was painted, and I'm just trying to make the visible area that I saw beforehand less visible. You know what I mean? If I was doing a full body work, trust me, I'll be stripping this entire thing down, blocking it out, filling all of the panels, blocking the entire panel, the whole damn process. We're not doing that with this car. We're just trying to give it a new life by giving it a nice fresh paint job over the paint job that's already on the car without the body kit, and just have this car back up on the road for whoever gets this car, and they can decide what they want to do with it after the fact. But I am going to fill the driver's side a little bit, that area, the door right here. We're going to continue tomorrow, only because I didn't get to show you a lot of what I wanted to do today. All right guys, so we are nearing the end of day 3 here. The sun is starting to set. We got about maybe 35 minutes before it is completely dark. Now my goal for the video was to sand the entire car down, and we kind of fell into the night the first day. But after sanding down the car, we found a rust patch in the back quarter panel, which is very common for these cars if they are exposed to salt or water behind the metal. Even the hatches get quarter panel rust spots. I mean, the wagons and stuff do. I guess it's common for any car, really. It just depends on where the car is located at. But we went into day 2 with repairing the rust. We got the rust cut out. We made a cardboard template. We cut it out of metal, and then we welded it in and shaped it up. The quarter panel doesn't have that huge rust patch anymore. Day 3, I decided that I was just going to do the body work to keep it in the same video, since we are on the same topic anyways. So today we did the body work on the car. We did the door right there. We did the door right here in the bottom, and then we did under the gas cap right there. You can see all the primer spot. We did the wheel arch. We did the rear quarter with the rust. That's all nice and straight. And moving over to the passenger side, guys, we had a small little dent right there, which we blocked out. We did the body fill under the door, one right there in the door. That was noticeable. I didn't see it before, but I definitely felt it. And then the fender was the biggest dent of the entire car. We popped it out with a hammer from inside right here, and we got it as straight out as possible. And then there was a second dent that was right there. We also kind of hammered out. I'd rather have a little high spot to work down than have a giant dip, so I knocked it out, knocked it back in. We used some body filler on there. We blocked it out nice and straight. I did find a little dent right there when I was kind of filling out the rest of the fender. I'm gonna take care of that in just a moment, but all I wanted to do was sand the car down, and we did a ton more after that. So most of the body work is done. I'm gonna spend the next day or 2 to really sand the car down, like all of the edges where there's like little paint chips. I want to make sure that any gloss that's still left on the car, I want to dull it out. So I'm gonna spend the next day or 2 to sand the entire car down. Hopefully when I pick back up with this car, we're getting ready to primer it. This upcoming week I should go get primer and possibly base coat and clear coat, so we can spend the next week coming up to get this car painted. The goal is to get this car painted next week, so I'm crossing my fingers on that, guys. But I gotta take off in just a moment here, and that is gonna wrap it up for this video. So if you guys enjoyed today's progress update on the new HF-CRX, be sure to leave a thumbs up. And if you guys want to stick around to see the primer stage and the base coat clear coat, it might be 2 different videos. I'm not certain just yet, but if you guys want to stick around and see that, be sure to hit the subscribe button. But that's gonna wrap it up. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. I completely forgot the bumpers.